Neo Shuffle is an amazing shuffleboard system, but it really needs to be seen in action to fully appreciate how well the system works and how simple and fun the games are to play. So today, we're going to play a single round of each game on the system to give you an idea as to how each game plays, and to let you see some of the twists that you can expect. You can also hopefully get a sense for just how seamless the experience is between the action on the board and the action up on the screen. The first game is Neo Shuffle. It's named after the system itself, and is undoubtedly the simplest game to play and to understand. Players take it in turns to push their weights down the board to land it in the marked scoring zones. When you're done, the scores of all the weights are counted towards a final score. The highest score when all the weights are counted will win the round. Don't forget, there's plenty of opportunity to play tactically by blocking weights with your own or purposely knocking your opponent's weights off the board. The overall winner of the game will be decided by who won the most rounds at the end. Classic Shuffle, by way of contrast, sticks to the classic shuffleboard rule set in scoring, only counting a player whose weights have travelled the furthest. Classic shuffleboard rules can be a bit tricky for new players of the game to understand, but the system doesn't only calculate the scores for you, but it illustrates the whole thing up on the screen, meaning that even new players are completely on board with what to do. Just like Neo Shuffle, the game is scored in rounds, the overall winner being decided by the most victories. Space Invaders is a clever game that's all about controlling the most territory. You do this by sending your weights down the board, where the system will calculate how much space you've claimed based on how many other weights are nearby and how they're arranged. Knock off your opponents or strategically aim your weights to claim the most space, and have the most space taken at the end to win the round. Space Invaders really shows off the system's ability to track weights accurately, opening the door to a really unique method of play that wouldn't otherwise be possible on a normal shuffleboard table. Curling is another game that's super simple to pick up and to play, once again aided by the stunning graphics on the game's main screen. Curling is all about accuracy. The end of the board features a target, and players score based on how close to the centre of the target they can get. Players take it in turns to try and land their weights as close to the centre of the target as they can, until all the weights have been used up. Just like the curling you'd see in the Olympics, the scores are awarded to the player whose weights end up closest to the target. Also, just like curling in the Olympics, you're encouraged to make use of your own weights to knock your opponents out of scoring, or placing blocking weights down to try and protect your own. Whoever is closest to the end of the centre of the target at the end will win the round. The Heist is a big favourite with everyone who plays it, because it's so simple to learn yet fun to play. At the start of every round, the board is populated with a virtual pile of coins, scattered all over the playfield. Slide your weights down the board, and any coins you pass are collected and added to your total, each one being worth 10 points. There's even a big gem sat right at the end of the board to collect, worth a whopping 500 points. The opposing player, when they take their turn, can not only collect coins, but knock their opponent's weights off the board, stealing their coins or indeed the gem in the process. The game occasionally mixes things up by placing red danger zones onto the board, which players will have to skillfully avoid in order to avoid losing points. Whoever has the most points when all the weights have been used will win the round. Finally, we have Blackjack. Blackjack is one of the most tactical games on the whole system. The whole board is separated into different cards on the screen, and you must aim to try and get as close to 21 as possible without going bust. Players take it in turns, sending weights down the board, where it will land in a zone corresponding to a card. Its value adding to their points total, being careful not to go bust. Real tactics and strategy can come into play in Blackjack. For example, you may bust, but you can save yourself by knocking any of your own weights out of play to bring your total back down again. Likewise, you can also do this to your opponents to meddle with their own totals. The closest to 21 without busting after all the weights are used will win the round. We hope that this gives you a good taste of how games on Neo Shuffle play, and it's whet your appetite to try it out for yourself. We have a full video detailing everything about the system and how it works, including all the various available options and more. But the best way to experience Neo Shuffle is without a doubt in our Bristol showroom, where you can play all the games for yourself and ask our team anything about how it can work in your venue. As always, check out the website for full details about the system, or give us a call to find out more.